einige DJ-Sets für euch am Start und dann die Red Bull After Party in der Olympiahalle Eingang Ost. Das ist Richtung Olympiaturm. Dann könnt ihr euch natürlich eindecken mit dem Mesh Merch. Wer also Bock hat auf krasse Klamotte mit Mesh-Logos drauf oder Caps oder anderen Schissel, der findet sich am Mesh Merch Stand ein. So, und jetzt schauen wir doch mal, wer uns alles Geld gibt, damit wir dieses Event über die Bühne bringen dürfen, und zeige euch auf den Screens unseren Werbeblock. Viel Vergnügen.
Erlebe den Sommertag des Jahres in München. Summer Vibes auf der Halbinselbühne am Olympiasee. Genießt Kulinarik aus aller Welt und erlebt Top-Künstler. Max Giesinger, Ausdies und Nico Lasker liefern euch den Sound des Sommers beim Sommernachtstraum am 19. Juli. Lasst euch von einem Feuerwerk der Emotionen verzaubern. Holt euch eure Tickets für das 20. Jubiläum unter sommernachtstraum-münchen.de. Erlebe die Freiheit zu genießen mit dem neuen Magnum Utopia, Double Hazelnut und Double Cherry. Magnum, lebe deinen Genuss.
Es gibt auch Eis und es gibt Merch und es gibt alles, und es gibt vor allem einen Mann, der uns heute hier unterstützen wird mit seiner Expertise. Selber betreibt er eine Wakeboard-Anlage in der Nähe von Frankfurt. Das ist der bezaubernde, gut aussehende Wakeboard-Experte Clint Liddy. Hey Clint.
Herrlich, Schwade, herrlich. Vielen lieben Dank. Es ist eine Ehre, hier zu sein, auf jeden Fall, hier bei Munich Mash. Ich habe das Gefühl, noch ist es relativ chillig den Vormittag hier am Start bei den Wakeboardern. Aber wenn die Jungs gleich aufs Wasser gehen, dann geht es richtig vorwärts auf jeden Fall. Wir erklären gleich ein bisschen zum Kurs dazu. Aber von oben ein bisschen Schatten, das ist vorteilhaft. Und glattes Wasser, das bedeutet super viel für die Wakeboarder und Wakeboarderinnen, die heute am Start gehen. Und wie gesagt, eine Ehre von meiner Seite aus, an deiner Seite zu stehen und die Möglichkeit hier zu haben, bei Munich Mash am Start zu gehen.
Ja, gestern hatten wir ja schon Team-Contest. 2 Fahrer bzw. Fahrerinnen an einem Seil mit 2 Handles. Das war schon ziemlich beeindruckend, vor allem weil wir auch gelernt haben, dass man das ja gar nicht so oft üben kann. Und jetzt stehen wir quasi direkt hier vor der Qualifikation um das Finale. Auch hier starten wir in 2 Heats. Insgesamt haben wir 12 Athleten am Start. Bei den Frauen gehen wir dann direkt ins Finale. Und wir wollen natürlich wissen, wer hier an den Start geht. Ein paar der Kontrahenten haben wir ja gestern schon gesehen, aber ich glaube, und das ist ja schon seit Jahren so, dass beim Mesh die Besten der Besten am Start sind, die alle gern rauskommen hier in den Olympiapark und hier mitshredden.
Absolut. Nach dem Team Challenge gestern, die haben ein bisschen den Kurs abgecheckt, also ein bisschen Training haben sie gehabt. Und lass uns gemeinsam schauen, wer jetzt am Start geht. Ohne
Making it happen since 2014. This is the 2025 edition of the Munich Mash here at the Olympia Park in Munich, Germany. And today we start things off with the wakeboard elimination. We've been looking forward to some nice weather, and that is exactly what we have today. 25 degrees cool, 10 kilometers an hour wind, 58% humidity, so it's a little bit moist out there. And I am Troy, and I am here with Lockie Fort, who's going to be keeping me honest throughout the day. Lockie, welcome. Nice to have you back in the box again.
Thanks for coming back again. Look at this contest format for today. We have 12 riders, 2 heats, 6 riders per heat, and the 2 runs, best run counts. So looking forward to seeing that with a max score of 100 out there.
It's going to be interesting. We also should note that Felix Georgi injured himself yesterday during the team competition, so he'll be replaced by Jules Charot today. Let's take a quick look at this course, because it is a fun one as well.
You've super unique setup. So having a look here, 250 meters length across the Munich Mash course setup. Starting off the dock with this 2-tower system, heading at 35 k's an hour for this bank spine rail system with that corrugated pipe on top. Heading towards the double XL step-up kickers up to the top level. Moving on to this double A-frame section with pyramid A-frames. So the boys will be looking forward to hitting that. Coming back down to this middle mash step-down combination on the stair set. The rail-to-rail transfer. So much going on. And back to that double bank with the corrugated pipe.
All right, let's get a rider's eye view on this from the course.
Hey, what's up? It's Clara here, and we are at 2025 Mesh.
This is the first preview.
Pedro is going now. He's gonna try the first feature. It's like a little bank.
After that, you hit the kicker. Those kickers really boost, so pretty fun to ride. And then 2 rooftops, meaning you can do kind of back-to-back tricks.
Okay, then let's see in the way back. What is he gonna do?
On the way back is a bit more scary because there's a closeout. And then in the middle section, going for rail to rail. It's one that you gotta be really fast with reaction.
And then let's see the last feature. Pipe to bank.
All right, Lockie, run us through the judging criteria as we take a look at the judging tower there.
Sure, Troy. So today we're looking forward to difficulty and risk, the execution and amplitude, the variety and creativity that the riders present, and also the style factor, which will be a huge key for this contest.
And of course, not a job that I would ever want to have, but being one of the judges, there they are. Who are these guys?
There they are. So we have Andy Cole from Germany, Alex Orbach also joining him up there from Germany, and Mario Marissi from Italy.
They've probably got the toughest job beside actually riding. I mean, having to choose the fates of riders who are very often friends of the guys that are up there as well. They're former riders themselves. Not a fun situation to be in. As we take a look at our start list for heat number 1, Riley Dillon, Benny Heatley, Basti Dunn, Jules Charot, who is kicking in for Felix Georgi, who I mentioned was injured yesterday, Joel Battleday, and Trent Stuckey, all in this heat 1. And any favorites here? Anything we should be keeping a close eye on for, Lockie?
Well, it's a pretty stacked heat to start off the day. So there we have the most peaks up there as well.
All right, the Flip Fantasy.
Yeah. So hopefully we see some of the guys put down some clean first runs.
Rivers Hendrick impressed me yesterday in her team run. I mean, wow, she is strong.
Yeah, her and Trent absolutely laid down that course and unfortunately didn't quite get through, but was super impressive. So very excited to see her with the women's finals later on today.
All right, so what's happening right now is our athletes are going out on course and doing what's called the spray run. And I'm guessing this is to moisten up all of the features and make sure that they're wet enough so that nothing sticks when you're running them, right?
That's correct. If we ever hit a dry ramp or a dry rail, we can stick and then catch an edge and fall off the obstacle, unfortunately. So make sure they're nice and slippery, nice and wet for the riders to then lock into.
All right, and as we could see, plenty of people coming out to be on the sidelines. And we mentioned this yesterday numerous times, but it's one of the only events in wakeboard around the world where the athletes and the audience are that close together. Hey, is it really that way?
That's right, sure is. You know, being right there on the bank, side by side, and the riders, you know, riding within a couple of feet from the action and from the crowd. So, yeah, it's definitely a unique spectacle for everyone to come down and watch.
All right, good Canadian kid. Riley Dillon getting ready to get out there.
Troy might have a favourite at this event so far.
Coming from Newmarket, Ontario.
Here he goes in the water for this first run. Riley Dillon. Starting with that toe side, backside, 450 up to corrugated pipe, 90 out. Cutting in left foot forward, hillside into that double XL kicker for the massive hillside frontside 900.
Nice.
Stomp that.
I got to drop in a little A once in a while for him.
Have to do that for sure. Stepping up with that frontside 270 to back lip, 180 around to front lip, and then the 270 out. Riley ollieing toe side, backside 180. Stepping up, front side 270, 90 out onto the end of that step up edge. Now cutting heel side, going 270 on, stepping across front board, backside 270 out. And final hit for Riley. Bang, front side 270, 270 out once again. The super clean, locked run for Riley's first run through the day. This is also Riley's first time at Munich Mash. So to put down a run like that's got to feel very good. I'm sure Riley will be stoked for those hits. See the replay there, that massive hillside frontside 900, getting that new grab on the way through.
Handle passes are clean, eh?
He's got a nice and tight to his body. And there's a very difficult tension here too with the setup, so he's done well to control that. Front over the bank, walk into that front board. Let's see what that score comes in at.
65.66, a respectable first score. Expecting them to jump up significantly from that, though. And I don't know, we talked about this yesterday, safety run, not safety run. Is it an optional, is it an optimal thing to do? I'm saying with 2 runs to go here, probably better just to try and knock it out of the park right away.
Sure, yeah, just one more run after this, so I'm sure he'll step it up in the next run. But right now we have Benny Heatley out on the water. Let's see what he's got. Going for that frontside 270 up. Front board, 90 out, cutting into that kicker. Heading in for the huge Moby 3, grabbing that nose all the way around. Clean as you like. Wow. Benny going for the tantrum to back tail, back 90 out. Off the popper, off that safety. First time I've seen someone flip onto a rail today. So he's hoping the judges will like that. Next up, 180 in. Stepping up, backside 180, blind nose press, 180 out. That was nice and locked. Stepping across, wow, huge backside 270 transfer or step from that flat box to the center. And then back lip with the front side 450 out to finish out.
That was a busy run. There was a lot going on there. Holy moly.
Benny loves his technicality and is always lifting that board around. Yeah, as you see, he's hyped on that run.
Come on, man.
Just listening to you make the calls on the tricks, I was like, what? Hey, wait a minute. Stop, go back a notch. I mean, there was a lot happening.
There was so much happening in that run. He's definitely gone full guns blazing out there. So excited to see what he does on that second pass. But as we can see there, getting that grab on that tantrum to back tail. Completely locked that into the end of the rail. A little easy hit as well. See, he flicked that board on the way out. He's unwinding. And that transfer was pretty unique too from the center. Steph.
I can't imagine this is going to be under 75, maybe even 80 points. It should be a solid score.
Pretty high one, yeah.
Let's see what the judges have to say. The score to beat at the moment is 65.66 from Riley Dillon.
So just taking a minute to contemplate.
Oh my goodness, 68.66. So Benny Heatley moves to the top, but the judges are scoring tight today.
That's pretty slight margins in that one. So hopefully Benny can make an improvement and increase the gap.
Next up, Busty Dunn dropping in.
First run in about 7 years for Busty out here at Munich Mash. Cutting in right foot forward, doing that switch front 3 to blind nose press on top of that corrugated pipe. Now into the kicker with that huge backside 720. Get a little wobbly on that landing. But he's composed again. Stepping up, front side 270, back lip, then stepping down to back tail on that A-frame section. Busty now cutting in, 180 up, stepping up with the backside, 180 to blind nose. Same bit we saw Benny do in that last seat. Now see where he's got to his middle section. Stepping up, 50-50, front side, 270 to back lip. And his last hit, full 270, front side full 50 out onto that double bank Corey section. So clean first run for Busty, known as the clean technical master that he is. And he definitely showed that with some of these tricks.
He looks so relaxed in the run as well. It almost seems like he was bored.
Yeah, some of these guys make it look too easy, for sure, out there on the course.
Maybe grimace a little bit so the judges think you're actually working
Think that you're trying, right? Yeah, that's it. Busty just putting down a nice safe run to start. I'm sure we'll be expecting a few more maneuvers from him.
58.33. All right, so Busty currently sitting in third place on the leaderboard with Jules Charot getting ready to go, the young Frenchman.
And that replacement for Felix, who unfortunately can't compete today. But now we're seeing Jules take the opportunity to hit this course in the competition. Going board slide up the bank to back tail on that one. That was a unique way to hit that first section. Now go for the massive double grab, 3-1, and unfortunately just slipping out and not making it past the ticket section. Jules was nailing them in practice just only a couple of hours ago, but hopefully he can put that one down in his second pass.
So that is a definite throwaway score. 8 points for Jules in this run number 1.
I'm sure Jules will bring his unique style to this course setup in that second pass.
It's amazing how wakeboarding has changed in the last 10, 15 years. It's madness, in fact, actually.
Yeah, it's just getting on new levels every single year. And with some of these younger riders, such as Joe Balde here, and a few other competitors in this competition, they just keep pushing the bar.
And cable wakeboarding has changed the game a lot.
It has made it so much more accessible for riders. As we see Joe coming in here to this first setup, getting a huge ollie up to that first corrugated section. Getting that backside 270 out, now into this double XL kicker for the Pro 540.
Joe Balde, one of the favorites here this weekend.
Sure is. No way. Getting that frontside 270 down the back tail for that A-frame section. Yeah, Joe's competed at this event many times before, so he's well seasoned in this layout. Getting that frontside 270 on, stepping up backside 180 to that front lip, blocking super low to the board. Now into this front section, middle section, tapping that pipe on the way through, passing the handle, getting that 90 out, and then that classic rewind with the sail grab for Joe for that last hit. He really knows how to poke that rewind that we saw on that last hit. He's definitely known for doing that. As you see, he also has some of the biggest hops in the game. That massive ollie up is no easy feat. Here again, that super clean grab, the Chrome Mode 540, spotting his landing, controlling that tension.
I think it was Joe yesterday that was like ollieing the up pipe during the team competition, wasn't he?
Yeah, I think him and Felix might have been giving that one a shot. Yeah, but Joe could definitely pull that out again, so we'll see what he starts to do for round 2.
Well, I don't know what to say about the scoring here, the way the judges have been scoring. I mean, it should be a good one. It was a pretty busy run. 75, there you go. He takes the top spot for the moment.
That was
one more rider to go. Trent Stuckey coming up.
Yeah, Joe definitely approached that in a unique way. So I think that's why he got rewarded so highly for that run. Now, fun fact about Trent, this is the only contest, major wakeboard contest in cable wakeboarding that hasn't won yet. So he'll be wanting to put it all on the line, I imagine. Huge toe side ollie up with that 360 out onto that first section. Now heading into the double XL for the Mute Blind Pete. Sorry, Crail Blind Pete. Now hopping up 50-50, 270 to back lip, and then 90 out for that top section. Turning around back for pass 2 now. See what he's got lined up.
Another one of those guys that just makes it look too easy.
Sure does. Huge nollie backside 270 step up to that top ledge. Now cutting into the stair section. Going step backside 270, nollying off the nose of his board. 90 out, up the bank. Frontside 3 hard way blind landing into the opposite bank. It's the first time I've seen a rider do that in this contest. Super unique way to hit that last section. It's always a nice feeling when you get that transition, like a skateboarding or snowboarding. It's cool to see wakeboarding start to have more banks and more transition in the riding.
Yeah, and it looks so smooth when it's really perfect. It's buttery.
Exactly. Trent's such a dominant force in wakeboarding, cable wakeboarding, especially in the last couple of years. And today is no exception. Huge Pigeon ollie backside 270, tapping the corrugate pipe on the way down. And he also got that nice melon grab on that 360 down to the bank.
Trent Stuckey with a 79.66, so he takes over the top spot here as we go back to the top of our run list, and we'll take a quick look at the current standings. So Trent Stuckey, Joe Battleday, and Benny Heatley are the top three at the moment. They would be the guys, if this contest ended right now, who would move on to the final tomorrow, or later today?
That's correct. Tomorrow's the Wakeboard men's final. Yeah, the top three make it through.
So now it's an option here for Riley Dillon, our good Canadian kid, to try and improve on that 65.66. He's got to put it all out there now in order to get to that 79 score.
He's in fourth, so he only needs to pump up one more space, but let's see what he's got. Going for that backside 450, 90 out. Super locked once again, same as his first hit in his first run. Popping in for that mute hillside frontside 9, and unfortunately popped the handle on the way around.
Well, that's all she wrote for Riley Dillon, unfortunately.
What a way to make a mark, though, for his first time out here at Munich Mash. He's put down a solid first run and showing out for the crowd.
Yeah, hopefully he'll be back.
Indeed, hope to see him back here. So that last handle pass just slipped out. It's always tricky controlling the tension of such large kickers. It's super unique to this course, is these double XL kickers here that we have. So extra height for the riders, but also high risk for consequence as well.
No risk, no reward.
That's it, you put it out there. Big props to Riley for getting out and getting that set up.
Oh, man.
All right, Benny Heatley up next. His first run score was a 68.66. Has him currently in third place.
Benny from Australia now heading out onto the water for his second run. Let's see what he's got. Going that frontside 270 up. Really floating out that backside 90. Seizing it out. Heading in for the back mode 540. Gets it super clean. We saw him try that one yesterday in the team contest, and he's locked it in today. Getting that back lip. Oh, unfortunately, heading off a little bit early. Pulling off a little bit early on that top rail section. So let's see what he's got lined up for the second pass now. Benny lining it up. Going 180 in. Stepping up to backside 180. Unwind out. And coming in toe side onto that flat box. Doing a full toe side backside 360 step across that corrugated pipe. Heading into that back lip. Right side 450.
That was nice. That's a solid finish for him.
Locks it off with that final hit. And he's hyped with that one.
I had to count myself.
Good to see Benny some of those highlights from that second run that he's just completed. Lofty backside 90 out off that first section. We saw here, he just unfortunately fell off the rail a little bit early. Didn't quite line up that tension right. But seems to still be having a lot of fun out there. Finally hit that back lip. Just teasing it out. Super floaty frontside 450 to finish.
Run 2:59.66, so he'll live with the best run. First run score of 68.66, and pray that nobody else comes in and sneaks in with a really solid second run. Busty Dunn coming up next. Benny, I should say.
Yep.
Benny Heatley scores, I meant.
Bus coming in now for his second pass. Currently in fifth place. Heading in for that switch frontside 360 and then on 180 out. Now into the double XL. Going for the backside 900. Unfortunately, couldn't quite get that one around before spotting his landing. Huge commitment. Busty going for that 900 versus the 720 we saw in his first pass. So was definitely hoping to up his score with that one.
So here begs a question from a rider's perspective. Because we talked, I mean, I'm bringing it up again, the safety run. Would you want to try and do maybe that and risk falling in the first run to get a larger point score and then feel more relaxed in the second run, or as a rider, are you coming into that first run going, I want to lock a score in no matter what?
Hardest part is that when you're off the dock, you don't know who the other competitors are, what they're going to do, and also if they're going to have a full right. So it's always good to, I feel, get the confidence up in that first pass. Yeah. And you've got a solid run down, solid score, and then you can really go and fully send it to that second pass.
All right, makes sense. Jules Charot from France coming up next. He needs a score big time.
Jules, last minute coming into this contest, played the least practice out of everyone, but making the most of it with that board slide up to 180 to back tail. Unique way to hit that section. Coming in for that 3-1. Has he got it? Oh!
That was lofty, though. Holy moly.
Fortunately, going for it again and not quite making it around. Tension dropped out, and he's fallen over his toes on that one. Disappointing for Jules, but nonetheless putting on the spectacle for the crowd. That huge 3-1 rewind. Coming for that kicker, had the double grab, super clean, comes around, spots his landing. Just landed a little heavy, and that tension wasn't quite there for him, unfortunately.
He had a nose full of water on that landing.
Sure did.
Oh, that's a bummer for Jules Charot. You can't fault him, as you mentioned, having very little practice time on this course, and it is a very busy course. There's a lot of things to choose from out there. So,
indeed.
Yeah. He said he drank the water from the lake. It's nasty. It is nasty. There's more duck poop in that lake than water, really. Okay. So, Joe Battleday coming up next.
Joey looking pretty excited, being in that top second position, in that top three currently. Only a few points behind the leader, Trent Stuckey, so let's see if he can level up his score in the second run.
At this point, though, there's no risk for the top three, and this is more or less just an opportunity for them to get out and get a little bit more practice, because it will be Trent, Joe, and Benny moving on to the next round.
Indeed. So Joe getting some practice laps there with that frontside 270 on, shifty rewind to back lip. And we saw before we just had that Chromo 540 again on lock. There we go with that back 270 step up with the overwrapped. Very difficult trick with the tension here. Going 180 all the way across, 90 front board, 90 out into that Corey section. And then that shifty rewind 180. Kind of popping the handle at the end there. So, not sure if that one will count, but like I said, nonetheless, he's in that top three position, heading on to the finals tomorrow. A couple of highlights there from Joey Battleday. In that real late, lofty 270 out off that ollie. In here for the Skeezer 540. It was actually a switch Chromo 540 on that one. And then heading into the safe frame section, back lip, following around 180 to overwraps.
So 57 on run two. He'll hold on to that run one score 75. Still sitting in second place, so no change there for him with Trent Stuckey, who is your leader in this group. With 79.66 points. For him, it's just go out and enjoy.
Indeed. Little practice warm-up run-through for tomorrow. A huge toe side ollie on. Massive ollie to do a toe side. Going for that blind trail Pete once again. Ollie up, nose press, frontside 270 to back lip. 90 out. So Trent just cruising through, filling out the course even more, getting these reps in, ready for tomorrow. 180 in, big step up, 270 to end that leg section. Now popping across, backside 900 off the popper there, heading down to the bottom section. And then finish off that full frontside 360, no blind this time, into the bank. So sending a little one for the crowd in that middle stair section there. Couple of highlights there of Trent's second pass.
Essentially under no pressure whatsoever in this second run.
So interesting technique. That time he obviously went for that first run and tried to put it all on the line. And then it was enough to get that that first spot with just one run. Let's see what the judges reckon about that second pass. Slightly different to his first one. Either way, he is through to the finals.
No score there on the run 2 yet.
Guess it doesn't really matter too much. That first run still stands.
I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out.
82.33. Wow.
Big improvement there.
Big improvement.
A couple extra points on the board, so I'm sure he'll be expecting to do the same for tomorrow.
All right, so beautiful view of the Olympic Tower there. And we see Trent Stuckey, Joe Battleday, and Benny Heatley will be the three that advance to the final. Trent Stuckey breaking the 80s with an 82.33. We noticed the judges were being a little bit tighter in the judging in the first runs. They seemed like maybe they opened it up a bit in the second runs, although there were quite a few crashes in the second runs there too. So
that's right.
All right, let's take a quick look at our top three. In third place, we have Benny Heatley.
So good to see Benny put out that first run. He locked everything in.
And of course, Joe.
Joey in second place there. That's skis at 5. And Trent Stuckey, your top rider from today's first heat.
He really has the optimal form as a rider, hey? He's long, lean, and strong, and flexible.
Indeed.
All right, so we're setting ourselves up now for Group 2, and that's going to be Dominic Gures, Max Milde, Nico van Lerchenfeld, Liam Peacock, Pedro Caldas, and Gavin Stuckey. There they are. So again, taking the top 3 guys from this heat and setting up our final 6.
So we have the German locals out here today as well in the second heat. All ended up in the same heat. And of course, make sure that you're following us along at Munich Mash on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Everyone tuning in today. And if you're in the area, come down and check out Munich Mash in person. But right now we have Nick Gers going out for his first run 1 of 2. Hometown being Munich.
He's a local boy, so they've got his back absolutely here.
Let's see what he's got. That backside 270, just dropping out back to 90. Huge cut in hillside for this XL kicker. Going for the double half cab.
Oh,
no. And Forky just over rotating it by a slight margin, but Nick making sure he's going full guns blazing, showing up for the crowd there today. It's always great to hear the crowd hyping up the riders as they're charging into those kickers. Nick had that grab, double rotation all the way around. Unfortunately, it didn't open up early enough and just slipping out onto his heels. That's all right, Nick still has one more pass, one more run. So he'll be able to attempt that trick once again.
All right, so 7.66, and he'll be thinking on that one a little bit. Hopefully it doesn't mess with his head too much. Max Milde up next.
Saw some super dominant riding from him yesterday in that team contest, so I'm excited to see what he does.
Don't they have a really big cable wake park in Duisburg?
Yes, they do. Yeah. So Max heading in for that. Backside 180, shifty rewind to back tail. I wasn't expecting that one. And then if that nose grab, hillside, front side, 900. That grab was super clean. Nice clean landing as well.
Ring the bells, hey?
Wow, Max going for the front roll transfer to front lip, getting that 270 out, locking in all the way to the end of that rail as well. Now coming back for a second pass. Line up hillside, backside 180 on, unwind 270, 270 out off the top of that section. Max lining up so far. Now in for that front board, handle pass, toe backside 360 to front board. And huge ollie, frontside 270 up.
Massive.
Stale, shifty, rewind, backside 180 out.
Oh, and he is pumped about that run.
Insane first run from Max.
That is a great run. You can see he was mega pleased by that as he came up. He got everything he wanted out of that one.
I don't think he could have been more stoked after that run. You see here, that 900, keeping that handle nice and close to the body. You see his little smirk afterwards, little smile. That front roll transfer.
the key here for this kind of a setup, right? To keep the handle close so that you can adjust the tension on that cable, because that's what's important, right?
Exactly, that's right. So always making sure that we're keeping that tension in control. If we don't have any tension, we can't rely on that handle to be there for us. And if there's too much, then it can pull us over and onto the front of our board. And we crash, but
84. The only other guy to break the 80s in this one, Max Milde. What a great job. So he's got top marks right now as we get ready to drop Nico van Lerchenfeld. He's more or less a local in the hearts of the people here.
For sure.
Even though he comes from Cologne.
So Nicky cuts out off of that big stale frontside 270, or sorry, backside 270 blind into the bank. Charging hillside again for that double half cab roll. Can he?
He caught it.
He held on. So Nika now popping across, huge backside 270 to back lip onto that A-frame section. Fortunately slipping up a little bit early. But nonetheless, he's holding on through this run. So he's lining up now for this top section the other way, the opposite direction. Backside 180 on, stepping up to nose press, backside 180 out. Nice nose press, nice and locked in. The judges will love that. And hopping across, tapping that pipe on the way through, and then landing on the corrugated pipe. And coming in, little tap on the way through, and unfortunately quite hanging it on.
Going down right at the end.
Nico putting it all out there. Pretty intense run once again, so let's see this replay. Came all the way around again, that tension kind of just dropping out from him. And this shifty little tap front three into the bank. Definitely a different way of seeing people hit that, but unfortunately can't quite hang on.
So Nico with a 37.33. Not optimal, but at the moment that's what he's got, and he's sitting in second place. Liam Peacock coming up next. As we see a beautiful view of the Olympia Park there and all the Mash Fest stuff that's going on in the background. We'll tell you more about that later on. Liam dropping in. Big, strong boy.
In that water. Coming in for that backside 180, shifty rewind, back into the bank. Now charting this kicker for the KGB5 with a crowd grab. Wow. Absolutely stomped that one. Now heading in for the popper backside 450, backboard, backside running out.
That one, didn't he?
Love seeing the guys pop across and over that top rail section back to the rail. Now lining up this other side. The backside 180, stepping up frontside 270, backside 90 out. Coming in, left and forward for the double toe back roll. Down to the base section. And ollieing up front board. Backside 270 out. So a mega first run there from Liam Peacock. Liam's got to be super stoked with that first pass.
Yeah, I imagine that'll put him in the solid second place. Perhaps first, I doubt it though. That's going to be a tough score to beat, the 84 points from Max Milde. But let's see what Liam's got for us from a score after we take a look at the replay here.
So interestingly enough, Nico and Liam were in the team competition together yesterday, and they took out the first spot. And now they're in the same heat, but now up against each other as competitors. So I'm sure there's no hard feelings, but they'll be making sure they put it all out there and give each other a run for their money.
Yeah, regardless. So I think there's a lot of camaraderie amongst you guys. I mean, there's not really hate going on, right?
No, it's a tight-knit community, and we're all out there to support each other, hoping that each of us does their best.
That kind of drama doesn't benefit anybody, really.
It never does, does it? That's it.
Whoa, there we go, 86.66. So Liam takes over the top spot just ahead of Max Milde. And that's going to open it up for the Energy Bundle. Pedro Caldas up next.
Pedro won this competition a couple of years ago, being a Rebel team athlete as well. So he will be gearing up for a huge first run, no doubt. Pedro coming into this first section with the backside 270 up. Ooh, dropping down, tapping that double bank on the way through, getting that 270 out. Now coming in for the nose grab, Pete 5 as well. Now lining up. Frontside 270, 450 out. Kind of popped off a little bit earlier. May have wanted to get to the end of that rail. The tension may have pulled him back across. Nonetheless, super clean landing from Pedro. Now coming in left foot forward. Little tap, step up, frontside 270 to front nose, 90 out.
I get the impression that Pedro can clean up mistakes pretty quickly.
He's a super sporadic rider, but also very spontaneous and can make things on the fly quite easily. Little ollie tap on the water there for the fans, and coming in for that 270 out off of the end pipe section.
So that was a good example, right?
Indeed.
Próxima sai, próxima sai.
Pedro being from Brazil, giving a shout out to his Brazilian fans who are tuning in. So Pedro may not have wanted to have landed that foot forward, so that's why I had to do that little swivel on 180, as we might see in this replay. This is a unique way that Pedro did that first section, dropping down to that double board slide, double banana. Now up here for the Pete Rise 540. And here he's got a little ollie 180 around, getting back to his left foot so he can step up from the bank to the top section and 270 out.
71.33. So that puts him in third place for the moment, behind Liam Peacock and Max Milde, with Gavin Stuckey up next.
Gavin being last year's winner of Munich Mash, being the reigning champion, so I'm sure he'll want to go back-to-back at this contest this year. So right now, let's see if he can make it through the finals. Gavin coming in left foot forward. Huge ollie up to front board. Almost slipping out. Managing to hold on. Now charging into that kicker for the cradle back Mode 540. Everyone boosting the Mode 5s today. Gavin getting that front side 270, back lip, shifty rewind to front board, and 90 out. Definitely a unique hit on that feature. Probably one of the more technical hits you could do. Coming in, switch right foot forward. Front side 270, stepping up, overwrapped. 180, the 270 out. Now into that popper, using the top of the popper, stepping up over onto the corrugated pipe, and his final hit today, this first run, is the hard way rewind into the bank. So a lot of technicality in that first run. Just saw a couple of rewinds as well. And we'll see what that score comes in at. There's that replay there from Gavin Stuckey. Massive ollie, so he just got a little bit caught on the heels and pretty much ended up completely submarined in the water, but popped back out and
kept it together.
Held on, and super impressive.
And then pulled this off.
And then straight to the kicker. Just shows you how many times he's done that trick. To just be able to send it straight after a slip up. Super clean at that as well. So, Gavin Stuckey, you'll see what the score comes in at.
75.66, so he slips just ahead of Pedro Caldas in the lineup into third place. So right now he is qualified. And we go back up to the top of our start list to Dominic Gers, who hopefully will have a clean run here. I think this is probably the strongest list as well, as we take a quick look at the standings. So Liam, Max, and Gavin in 1, 2, and 3 respectively. Pedro, Nico, and Dominic. I mean, could be a final list, this group right here.
100%. 100%. Some of the top riders, of course, out here at Munich Mash. We only have 12 invited riders. 12 of the best that make it out here to this competition. So super stacked heats, no matter which heat you're in. So Dom Gers hitting the water for his second run. Coming in left and forward for this backside 270 up the board slide, 270 out. Now line up this kicker, can he get this double? 1, 2.
Yes.
Super clean landing that time. Absolutely locking it in. Now coming right forward for that backside 450 to back lip for that A-frame section.
He barely submerged the board on that double.
He landed as bolts as he could get. Coming right forward once again. Pop a frontside 3 to the bank. Little wobbly on the landing, a little bit on the heels. But he's holding it together. Now coming in for this middle section. Front board to front board. Backside 90 out. And we've got one more hit here for Dominic Gers. Frontside 7 into the bank. And he's fortunately just popped the handle, slipping out. But nonetheless, Nick putting together most of a full run and showing up for his hometown. So there's that replay there of that double mute half cab roll. And this huge popper front three into the bank in the top section.
That was a wrestling match to get that handle back.
Yeah, just managed to hang on to that one. And then a little bit on the heels there, and unfortunately slipping out. So last tip, but putting on a show.
41-33, so that's his day done, unfortunately. And we move on to Max Milde, who did lead with the first guy to break the 80 mark here in his first run. Let's see if he can repeat that and improve on it a little bit to maybe catch up with Liam Peacock, who is currently at the top of the list with an 86.66.
Max hitting the water now, starting off left foot forward. Coming in for that shifty rewind, back to 180, back to front board. Now charging in for this XL will be the 900 again.
Oh,
once again,
beautiful.
Super clean nose grab, hill front 9. Going popper all the way around, front roll 270 to back tail. I believe that was the opposite side as well, so showing they can do that flip right foot and left foot forward. Now lining up, right foot forward, back to 180 on, unwind 270, step up, 270 out. And heading in towards this middle section. Handle pass, back tail on that middle section, popper toe back 3 across the front board. And huge Ollie 270, sail rewinds.
Max putting a signature on this year. My, oh my.
Max is here to win. Max wants that podium this year, I think, because he's locking in as good as ever. Such a strong competitor as well, both physically and mentally. The team there putting his run together, doing that opposite front roll transfer 270 back to the rail, getting that full pull, and this super technical hit with that toe back 3 step to the corrugated pipe.
And he didn't just ride the tip of the pipe, he rode like a good, I would say, almost half of it.
Yeah, not gapping to the end of it and actually locking into the rail is quite impressive as well, so that'll be something the judges are looking out for.
I have him improving, but not Liam. I have him above Liam, and then the average will be like of him.
So judges taking their time to see if that will be an improvement and see if he can manage to get into that first place.
Almost inevitably discussions going on. Ooh, 86, he's improved, but not quite enough, but he's got himself a solid score there. So Liam Peacock still holding on to the top spot as we go on to Nico. Now, Nico could be a leg breaker here for a couple of these guys in the top spots, in particular for Gavin, who is in that third position at the moment.
Indeed. So let's see here. Nico hitting that first section for the toe side, backside 540 into the bank. So stepping up already from his first run. Now going for the double, and unfortunately getting a little bit hung up. So just managed to get the half cab roll around, just one single flip. So unfortunately without that double, the scoring may not be quite as high, so opting to miss that top section.
Well, so much for him being my leg breaker.
Yeah. So unfortunately for Nico, not quite managing to put that second run together, but cheering on to the crowd. Big front 270 across. Having some fun with it. And that Indy glide we saw yesterday as well. It's always great to see Nico out here. The crowd, of course, loving seeing the spectacle. This is the double half cab attempt. Fortunately, the tension kind of picked up right in the middle. Didn't quite have that handle close enough to his body, so wasn't able to initiate that second rotation of the second flip in the double half cab roll, but nonetheless pulling out from it, but knowing that it wasn't quite enough to get the score that he would need to get into the finals. Bit of frustration there, but hopefully see Nico again back here at Munich Mash in future years.
Definitely will, definitely will. All right. Liam Peacock currently in the lead with an 86.66.
Now, I have a feeling that Liam will probably use this as an opportunity to get some more practice in. So I'll be keeping an eye on this run. Getting that backside 180, rewind into the bank. Sharding this double XL. Going for the double roll to blind. And pinging the handle, not quite completing that rotation. But nonetheless, just another practice run and a crash out of the way before hopefully making that one in the finals.
Yeah, Liam's safe, you know, as the top rider in this group for the finals, so he doesn't really have to stress about it, as you mentioned, just a practice run. The guys that you got to worry about now with Pedro coming up is Gavin Stuckey, and Gavin has had another opportunity as well. If Pedro does do what he tends to do and comes on strong in the second run, then there's an opportunity for Gavin as the last rider in this group to perhaps take him out if. There's a lot of ifs, ands, or buts right now.
For sure.
All right, so that run one score 86. Double six is going to hold on. Run two, 11 points. 11! And we're moving on to Pedro Caldas.
Pedro always is excited as ever to get out on the water.
He reminds me of a little kid before Christmas Day.
Every time.
Every time.
He's always jumping around. Yeah.
Excited for life, which is awesome.
That's it. It's coming in now for that backside 270. Pop down banana, 270 out. And now in for the nose Pete Rose 5 once again. Popping up right forward, frontside 270, back tail, pop across the back lip. Coming up a little bit early on that one. So let's see if he can clean the rest of his run up now. Back in for the opposite rail, left and forward. Little nose tap. Popping up all the way around a blind nose press. Unwind 180 out. And now coming in switch. 270. Pop across. Back three to that corrugated pipe. And then the frontside 270. Little indie grab 90 on the way out. Hey, coming a bit hot to the back to the dock. So we'll see this replay now here from Pedro Caldas. Little tap on the way through, 270. And then this super boosted Pete Rose 5.
So he needs a 75.66 or better to take over third position and push Gavin Stuckey out of the top three, but Gavin still does have his second run. Oh, he doesn't get it, unfortunately, so that means it's going to be Liam and Max and Gavin qualifying. So for Gavin, this is a gimme.
That's it. Just some more time in the water, some more time to practice for the finals tomorrow. So Gavin being the reigning champ from last year's Munich Mash, I'm sure he's stoked to have another shot at going back-to-back for the title.
And at this point for these guys, it's just about getting into that final, and then they can really push it.
Really explode. Hey, that's it. Put out there 100%. Sometimes it's more nerve-wracking being in the qualification than the final, because you just want to make sure you get through the rounds.
Yeah, you got 12 guys out there as well, so there's a lot of other competitors that could be the dark horse sometimes, or you know that their skill level is high.
Indeed. And a lot of these riders, quite a lot of them is their first time at the Munich Mash as well, so you've got some experienced guys and also some newcomers. So always got to be aware of them. But Gavin just out there getting some practice laps in for tomorrow. That 450 out at the end. Locking in those streaks, getting it nice and consistent. Little replay out there. Gavin controlling that line tension. Up again for that beautiful back mode 5. Gavin super well known for doing that trick. Probably one of the best out of any of the competitors here or anywhere. So either way, Gavin's through. But we'll just have a quick look at what that second run score comes in at.
No drama here, but it's taken a long time for the judges to have the discussion, which usually means that there's going to be an improvement in the score. There we go. Wow.
There it is.
He jumps to first place with an 88.33. So Gavin putting a nail in this one. Interesting, because for me that run looked more chill and not as technical as his first run. I mean, you know, I'm definitely no expert, right? But just from an outside perspective.
For sure, yeah. Well, Gavin definitely locking in all the tricks in that second pass just as well.
All right, so there we see the results of Heat 2. Gavin, Liam, and Max are your top three guys. They will be advancing to the final, and that means that our final, well, it's not seated quite yet on our screens, but you'll get to see all of the guys who are going to be in our final momentarily.
But slim margins between the top three riders.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not even a whole point between second and third there. So definitely we'll have some work to do tomorrow to push the boundaries and push their scores.
All right, and the beautiful day here today as we take a look at all the guys that are going to be making it into our final tomorrow, which will be at 17:15 or 5:15 in the evening.
We saw Benny, Joey, and Trent all there making it through from that first heat.
And you mentioned Trent really would like to have a win here, because that would give him wins at almost all the competitions in his list. Then
that's it. He's made a second place at Munich Mash, and unfortunately he hasn't quite gotten to the top spot yet. So I'm sure he'll be putting 100% out there, putting it all on the line come final day. Seeing Liam there again with that Crowell KGB 5.
All right, lots more action to come today. We do have our skateboard qualification that's been moved over, and so do join us for that. Until then, see you later.
Peace.